Well, I think e-health forums, especially at national or international levels, brings around a great opportunity for people to exchange ideas as well as participate in what they're doing in different parts of the region and the world to be able to bring a common, let's say, initiatives or common ideas and innovations where either we've learned from failures or we've had successes where we can actually bring something which would help. So healthcare or health delivery requires such participation.
So, what do you think ICT can be a universal equalizer for healthcare delivery?
IT definitely. For one, I think it's a very effective tool on keeping or maintaining healthcare costs down. Because let's say, for example, if a person has uh, some test done in a hospital and is able to carry that information either as a URL or as a cloud or on a disk, which is freely available and accessible as long as one has a computer, then the need to repeat those tests get minimized. The new so-called treating clinicians know what needs to be done, and so it helps the patient, keeps the cost down, and is more efficient. Plus, also, I think the ability to share data uh, and make it transparent can only be done when you have robust IT systems which somehow speak the same language. Right? Right.
So, what is the change you've seen ICT has brought over the years in the healthcare sector? So, how do you think it is now? At what level?
Well, I think it's still very, if I would use the word primitive in India is concerned. Largely because there is no real initiative for it to become compulsory, right? And healthcare delivery in India is very unregulated and unregistered. So as a result, larger component of it is through private healthcare, small institutions. Then you have the government healthcare, which is small to very large institutions. And that information is not collated and maintained in such a way that it's available for everyone. So we have a few years to go, but I think that for us there's an opportunity to start at a level by taking the learnings of the other countries over the last 10, 15, 20 years and start at a much higher level. Very much like telecommunications, the cellular networks here are much more sophisticated than elsewhere.
So, are you happy with the healthcare budget the government has allocated to the sector?
Well, I think the government of India needs to spend a lot more on percentage of its GDP which it's spending. And in terms of actual rupee value, they're spending more, but the allocations are minuscule because the actual rupee value of state budgets have gone up quite a bit as well. So we've gone from maybe zero point 0.8 or 0.7 to 1.2, which is nothing compared to what, let's say, some of larger countries spend 10, 15, 20% of the GDP. So today most of the growth in healthcare is being spent by the private sector, whereas I think the government should be spending more because we have a very large population which actually needs that support and that care.
So, you've been always talking about, we just mentioned in the presentation as well about the PPP model. So, what do you think your initiatives are there in, or is it a success, or will it be a success in the healthcare sector?
I mean, there are a lot of very good PPP models which already exist and are very successful, in Karnataka, Andhra, etc. So, will it be a success? The answer is yes, it's already proven. Can it be a success? Absolutely, because if you look at the penetration and the benefit where they're working is of great value, right? And I think it's almost like it's an imperative, all right, for states, for all other states to also take initiatives like which Karnataka or Andhra have taken on PPP projects. Right? Gujarat has different kind of projects, but I think each state needs to look at their needs, right? And I think that the success of healthcare delivery has to be through PPP. It cannot be either private sector or government. It has to be us, and us I means anyone who's in the healthcare sector.
Yes, so a large part of the population urban cities, you're doing so much. The Max is really coming up as it has established it, right? So how do you think you can actually reach the rural people as well? Do you have any projects coming up? Do you think about?
Well, it's interesting. I have to tell you that there's a shortage even in an urban city, right? So while the need may be more in a rural area because of the disparity, right? But if you tell me that is urban population all done with and they have enough hospital beds and doctors, answer we are far from it, right? So then you have the dynamics of where a person should be working and living, right? And take young people. They don't want to live in a rural area. So we've got to be able to create an environment for them which becomes conducive. And I think that's where other things need to be done also, which is roads, water, power, schooling, educational facilities. Then I think you'll be able to attract these people to go there. Once that happens, then I believe there's easy opportunity for anyone to get into rural medicine. But otherwise, just setting up a building is not going to solve the problem. And we have shortage of manpower.
So, talking about the doctors, do you think the medical training in India is good enough to produce a great number of doctors, and they're sufficient enough for practicing?
Well, no, we only produce about 38,000 doctors a year, right, with our current medical colleges, right? And I think I may be wrong, but that gives you a shortage of about 150,000 a year, which you need, right? So we'll have to add quite a few medical colleges to be able to do that. That's just numbers, right? I also think that, and MCI, by the way, is starting to change a reform, but I think we need to reform the way we deliver our education, the way we measure it, right, in the healthcare side, so that there has to be some emphasis on what the needs of the country are, right? While we are doing the educational process as well. And of course, so a good medical college, let's say, should have 1/3 of what I call clinician scientists who should be doing research and stuff like that, which also we don't have, right? And then the other 2/3 should be on clinical programs, and definitely 1/3 should be on focus-driven programs which are of benefit to India. So, I mean, pick two triggers: maternal mortality, infant mortality, big things. So just looking after neglected diseases like malaria, gastrointestinal diseases, diarrhea, these are the things which kill little children. And if we focus on that, do research and train doctors or healthcare providers to take care of those diseases, we'll make a big impact in this country.
Is Max anyway coming up to teaching or
Max Healthcare by itself not, but through our affiliations, we are setting up a medical college. When I say we, means there's UMax will set up, which will be funded through the family and other contributions. It's a Section 25 company. So we are setting up, hopefully setting up a health sciences university, which will have a medical college, paramedical, nursing as well. And Max Healthcare, if anything, may be involved in the hospital part of it because of our clinical background, etc.
One last question. Is Max, has come up with new technology into the hospital or the management systems, new health IT basically? Has Max come up with something new?
Well, we've taken the open source code, which is the Vista system, the World Vista software, and adopted and adapted that to India. And so we have a beautiful open source platform which can be picked up by anyone right now for EHR needs specific for India.